Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic, that is arrays. And from a Java programming coding questions perspective, most of the questions would be around string and arrays. That's why these two topics are very important, and we should know the different commonly used methods in both of them, right? So let's start with arrays. One way of declaring an array is like this. Say for example, you give this a name as ARR, and you directly say with what all elements are present in the array. Okay, so this is one way of declaring your array. Okay, similarly, we basically also have a string array. Say for example, let's say str, and we will have values in terms of strings. For example, Arun, Nair, and let's add few more values. So these are the ways in which you can directly declare an array. Now array will always have fixed length. So this is the limitation that it has. Okay, now coming to the different commonly used methods that we use, right? For example, if you want to know the length of the array, so let's print it out directly. We will do array dot length. Now one difference that people usually don't notice is that, see, we are giving dot length over here, right? We are not giving brackets, round brackets over here. Okay, so this is how we find the length of the array. So let's check, it's 5. There are 5 elements present over here. Similarly, you can do that for the string array as well. Let's put str, and of course you will get 4. Okay, for array we will put length, but if you would have seen that whenever we have a string, okay, now in order to find the length of this, how do we find out the length? So we put s1 dot length. So this is the difference between an array and getting the length of a string. So these are some minute things that we need to be careful about while we are doing programs, because we would not be getting an editor always, right? Sometimes we would be asked to write down in a paper if it is a physical interview, or maybe in a notepad or something like that. So we should be aware about these little things as well. Okay, now another way of declaring an array is, okay, and here basically you tell the size. Okay, so that means there is an empty array which can hold 5 elements in that. So how do we add that? Is basically we will say 0th value is 2. Let's copy it. First value is 4. Second value is 6. Third, fourth value is 7, 9, and 7. Okay, so we got this. Now let's add one more and see what happens. 5. Let's say we put 1. Okay, it will throw an exception. The reason why it is throwing an exception is because we had already said that it can hold only 5 elements, and when we are trying to add the 6th element over here, it is throwing out of bound exception. Okay, so that's why we have to make sure that since it is fixed length, we are adding only those many values. Okay, now this is one way of doing it. There is another way of declaring an array. In case you can use this is not commonly used, but we can also try this. No int. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, this is another way of declaring an array. Okay, now let's come to the different methods that we have. Okay, say for example, I want to sort an array. So let me create another array, and this time something that is not sorted. Okay, so this is an array. If I want to sort this array, there is a method which we can use, which is arrays dot sort array 3. Okay, now this is a method which will sort the array. So let's try this. Okay, so we are getting the output for previous previous sysouts, but if we want to print this, let's see how we can print. Okay, so it is throwing an error. Why is it throwing an error? Is because it is not able to print arrays directly. Okay, be it any array. If you directly try to print it, for example, let's try to print array 3. Okay, it will not be able to print because it will print the memory location kind of stuff. It will give some different value. So in order to print an array, there is another method, but before that, let's do this arrays dot sort so that we can see if it is getting sorted or not. Okay, so this is how we get it sorted. And if you want to print it, then there is another method which is toString. So this is a very important method because obviously you would want to see the values and all. Otherwise, the other option is to iterate it using a for loop. So you don't want that always, so you can directly print it. So if you see this, this is coming in a sorted order because we used sort method as well. So 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. So this is how we can sort it and print as well the array. Now any array can be printed in this way. Let's print the first one, this one also. It is already sorted, but still just to show how it can get printed. Yeah, this is how we can see different arrays printed. Okay, now the next one is also arrays dot equals. Okay, now let's try to compare array, and the other one which is similar is array2. Okay, so we want to check whether this is equal or not. So let's see. Okay, now it should return either true or false, but it will return true because the values are same, right? 24679, 24679. Okay, now let me compare it with another array. It should return false as well. Okay, so the reason why I'm breaking each method and showing different operations that can be done is because we need to remember these methods, and we can use this when we get any programming questions, and we can use and build logics using these operations. Okay, so this is one thing. The other method that we have, which is again also very useful, is if you want to create a new array. Say for example, I want to create a new array. Okay, now we want to give the length of it. Okay, now say suppose I want to give the length as array 1 dot length plus array 2 dot length. Okay, so that means we are saying that array 1 is this, right? Array 1 and array 2. Okay, so these two we are going to add. So here also there are 5 elements, here also there are 5 elements. So this array 4 will have length of 10. So let's initiate this first, and now let's see what's the length of the new array. Okay, dot length. When we do this, we will get 10. Okay, now in order to add elements into this, so let's do that as well. There is another important method, copy of range. Okay, now in this what we do is we have to say original, okay, array 1 comma 0 to 4. Okay, so we are copying this and we are assigning array 4 to this. Okay, now let's print and see what happens to array 4. Again, to print the array directly. Okay, let's try this and see how it works. Okay, so the length is 10 and we were able to successfully add 1 to 4. Okay, so this is how you can use all these methods in order to merge arrays. Say for example, you get a programming question wherein you get two arrays, array 1, array 3, and they're asking you to merge both these arrays. So what you will do is, if you want to merge it directly without getting it sorted or something, then it is very simple. You will create a new array and you will declare its length by adding both the lengths, and then you will use this arrays copy to range to add both these arrays. Okay, so this is how you can reuse all these methods and form a logic and answer interview questions. Okay, so even in questions they might ask you like, how can you copy the ranges from an array, right, to a new array? So you can use all this copy of range, right? Okay, so in order to create a duplicate of an array also, you can use this method, copy range. So this is how we do it. And yeah, that's pretty much for today. And if you need any personal guidance in terms of interview preparation, mock interviews, feel free to reach out via Topmate. The link is in the description. Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you so much.